allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor and Texas flag, I pledge to be the city of Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. All right, we're gonna have Pastor Scott Jones lead us in a prayer.
Heavenly Father, we acknowledge that you are here with us. We want to thank you for the goodness that you've bestowed upon us, for the ways that you've cared for those in our community and sustained us through many things. We know, Lord, that our community right now is filled with a lot of people from all over and they're enjoying vacations. We ask that you would keep everyone safe. We want to acknowledge that all power and authority comes from you. And we ask that you would help us, and especially those who bear responsibility, to be good stewards of what you've entrusted to us. And may your will be done for the good of all those in Aransas County. So we turn our eyes to you. We want to tell you that we trust you and we love you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Johnson.
And he is from Rockport Baptist Church. First Baptist Church, sorry. All right. Roll call.
Give me a moment. Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo,
Here.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
and Judge Garza.
Here, we have a quorum. Now we'll move into citizens to be heard. We've got three. Mr. Jerry Neal. Would you like to speak? No?
They're here.
Oh, okay. And Tana Neal? And John, okay. So you are here in support of item 10 and 11. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. We're going to go to, we don't have any presentations or proclamations. Consent agenda, which that falls into.
I move to approve the consent agenda. You want to read any?
I'll
of them?
second that.
Any of them you want to read out?
Well, there is. I need a strike number 6 from the consent agenda. That's going to be taken out. And I'm going to acknowledge some donations. We've got a donation of $100 from David and Diane Wiley to the Aransas County Animal Care Services. We've got a donation of $50 from Ron Hildreth, given in memory of his wife, to be used for supplies for Aransas County Animal Care Services. We going to accept a donate or acknowledge and accept a donation of $250 from Renee Butler for supplies for Aransas Care Services. And then 10 and 11, Commissioner Rousseau is going to introduce those.
Thank you. I just want to call special attention, and Tana and Jerry Neal are here from Another Chance. And we're going to acknowledge and record in the minutes of Commissioners Court donations from Another Chance RFT for the following. In January 2023, $4,500 value for veterinary care, medicine, spay and neuter operations, heartworm treatments, and $2,100 for transportation and boarding, for a total of $6,600 in donated services and supplies for the month of January. And in February, $9,570 value for veterinary care, medicine, spays, neuters, and heartworm treatments, and $315 for the transportation and boarding, for a total of $9,886 in donated services and supplies in the month of February. And I would just first like to acknowledge Tana and Jerry Neal, who have been very faithful in helping Aransas County with stray dogs. And I adopted a dog from them and was amazed at how much they had paid for that dog before I took him on. And then I'd also like to acknowledge Gayle Odom and her assistant, I'm not sure. And record in the minutes of Commissioners Court donations from Cattails Rescue for the following services provided to Aransas County Animal Care. Expenses for spay, neuter surgeries, medical tests, and vaccinations to enable rehoming of cats through partnering with no-kill shelters outside of Aransas County for the value of $1,160 for the month of January and $1,103 in the month of February, for a total of $2,263 in donated services and supplies. And also expenses for other medical and veterinary services in the amount of $461 for the month of January and $1,723 for the month of February, for a total of $2,184 in donated services and supplies. And I know Lori has done a good job of bringing in and reaching out into the community for donations. And I just really appreciate these two organizations for what they do for our community.
All right. Let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. All right, item number 12.
Move to approve authorizing to advertise for bids for purchase a SBL 95-2S skid steer with Forester mulching head attachment.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, we got a second. We got Mr. David Reed coming up.
This is a new piece of equipment that we would like to have. It's we have one skid steer. This is a little bit bigger that will run that mulching head that we're trying to get with it as well. I do have it budgeted for equipment for this year. I expect the price to be around 75,000. Give or take.
Said it is budgeted.
Yes. Any other questions?
I think this is a good sign because it means we'll be getting more work done of that nature. Because I noticed you put in here that it's needed due to current and projected workload. So
Correct.
thank you for doing that.
Sure.
And that line item where this is coming from, how much do you have left in that, or when this is gone, 75,000?
I have quite a bit left in this
Okay.
budget.
Cool. All right. Any other questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 13.
Move to approve the final plat of Islands of Rockport, Unit 3 at 4418 and 4316 Highway 35 South Business, including the closures and the vacating of an unimproved plat 40-foot wide roadway lying west of and adjacent to Lot 1, Block A, J.D. Wheeler subdivision, and accepting 1.405 acres for open space drainage.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, we got a second. Any discussion?
Good morning. This is the third unit of the Islands of Rockport subdivision. It is 168 new residential lots. There is a breakout of the other items further next in the agenda. Are there any questions regarding the final plat for Unit 3?
And just to make it clear, is this the one that, is this a swap? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I do have a PowerPoint that will explain it to y'all when you're ready.
Okay.
Commissioner and Judge Garza, I just want to mention that there's a lot in here that's part of a swap, but the plat itself is not, it's just that one of the lots is acknowledged in the plat.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
this
you.
isn't the one. All right.
I'd like to go ahead and see the PowerPoint.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
Quick history of this. In the process of doing document review to prepare the plat of Unit 3, we came across some easements, pipeline, Central Power Light Company easements, a few other ones that we were trying to clear up. And in the process of doing that, we came across a right of way that was conveyed to the county in 1908. And it had been carried, it had a double chain of title, which means two different entities were claiming chain of title. But instead of it being just an easement right of way to the county, if you read the document, it turned out it was a quitclaim deed. In 1908, the Ives family, IVES, conveyed roughly a 1 acre parcel of land to the county to be used as a 40-foot wide strip of land, about 700 feet. That was to be used for road purposes on the east side of the railroad tracks. It was never built. The road was never put there. But it turned out it was a conveyance. And when I discovered that, I met with Jen at the county attorney's office to figure out how we can correct this. And she gave me the legal procedure we had to follow. And we determined that an exchange of property was the best way. I'm going to give you a quick slideshow of this. This is proposed land swap, which the county is going to, that old 1908 right of way is just under 1 acre. And what the project, Kiki de Ayala right here and the islands of Rockport are going to be, we created a land parcel on the north end of his property that's 1.405 acres, which we're calling lot 55, block 8. And there's going to be an exchange deed where the county will give up, convey the property to Islands of Rockport, then Islands will convey the 1.04 to the county. So it's going to be a land swap. Just the rough value between the two, according to state law procedure under the transportation code, I believe, Jen, isn't it? We have to have real estate appraisals. So Lynch Appraisal Service appraised both pieces of property, and the value on what the county's getting came up a little over like 86,000. And I think the quitclaim tract was valued at about 42,000. So the county's getting about twice the value. This is generally where it is on the red strip was the 40-foot strip that was in the 1908 deed, which was on the east side of the old railroad right of way. So you can generally see where it is. The historic timeline of this thing, there's the original, well, actually there was what was called a report of the jury of view. So evidently they had to condemn that 40 feet through a number of owners. And I found this in the commissioner's court minutes. They conveyed the property Elizondo, they gave them a warranty deed. So based on that warranty deed, all the way back to 66, the title companies issued clear title on the property. So the project, Islands of Rockport, bought the property in good faith and insured by the title companies. Come to find out, we had this outstanding deed that no one bothered to read, that it wasn't a right of way, it was a conveyance. And then it went on. These are just some of the conveyances to that's a copy of the 1908 deed. It's very loosely described, but basically it says it's covers the Betty Ives property on the east side of the railroad tracks. That long, skinny strip is actually a survey. David, you had asked about a copy of the survey. We had surveyed it, I guess, when George Elizondo got ready to sell it to a man by the name of Sadow. We surveyed that, but it's just included on the long strip next. And by the way, that 40-foot strip, 30-foot of it's encumbered by United Gas Pipeline right away, which effectively took 30 feet of the 40 feet. So that even lessened the value of the 40 feet. You can't see it too well, but that's the old 1940 highway right-of-way map that if you could look at it closer, it shows that same where they put the new highway. That's on the Burton and Danford plat. That red area is where it fits on the Barber track. And then that's the survey of it on the 72-acre tract that Islands of Rockport bought, I believe, in 2002. When
well, anyway, that where good title was issued on the whole 72 acres. It was owned by Bullet Concrete. That red strip of land is a 50-foot wide strip that we worked with Islands of Rockport to do the exchange. That's the strip of land that the county is going to get. And I think early on, Jack, remember we met with you and David Reed and Kat at Road and Bridge to find out if we do a property exchange, where would be the most logical place to put it. And I think we felt like that putting it there would be most beneficial to the county because there's a 40-foot wide drainage ditch that's going to come across the old railroad right of way, and it's going to meander through that green area to the bottom of the red track to do a water sedimentation and clarity tract of land. But if we get a real substantial rain, there's a possibility we may need an overflow because that wetland area is going to slow the water down. So I think when Dave and I talking, if we had that 50-foot strip, we could put a surface swell that would be an overflow to get the water away from the highway. And so that was more beneficial. Plus it created a buffer zone between the island's property. It's going to be a green space and a buffer zone between that and development to the north. So it seemed to be a win-win for everybody. That may be the last slide. Yes, that's the last slide. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them, but that's actually covering items pretty much 14 through 16 about the land swap. Jen has been fantastic on working, trying to help resolve this thing on top of everything else she does. And anyway, we have the deeds prepared. I think the deed the county is going to convey, he had his attorney prepare a warranty deed that'll go to the county for lot 55, but we have to file the plat of record first. So we have a platted lot to convey to the county. So it's had a lot of moving parts, but it was all finally put together.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
Now, I just want to make a comment here. Jerry's worked very, very hard on this. I have no idea about the cost or anything like that. This was complicated.
It was
the most complicated ones I've seen.
I felt like that somewhere in the county records from 1908 to 1966 that property was conveyed back to the Ice family. And I went through commissioners' court minutes, records, everything I could possibly think of to see if I could find where, but there was no revisionary clause in that 1908 deed. So Jen read it and she said it's a valid deed. And so the only way to deal with it was to treat it as such and to do an exchange. So Jen?
I just want to mention that when the county, if these items are approved, when the county conveys that parcel, it will be by quitclaim. We received it by quitclaim and we would be conveying it also by quitclaim, but it would have the effect of clearing the title on this property for the project owners. And at the same time, we would get a warranty deed for the 50-foot strip for drainage.
Right. No, it's a win-win. And I think in my opinion, it's more of a win for the county because we have a good piece of property for something that has a clouded title, plus it has a pipeline right away on it. So,
Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Does that strip of land we're going to receive on the north end of the property run all the way to the bay?
It runs over to Land's End, which is a main drainage corridor that goes down and then goes down Estes Drive and then goes to the bay.
Okay.
So it's about 1 block from the bay, but it makes a connect between, we're going to have a drainage connection between Highway 35 and Land's End, which will eventually get to the bay.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. David, did I miss anything? Okay. Well, I think it's a good deal. And any other questions?
Thank you,
Nope.
Jerry.
Okay.
All right, for item number 13, let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number 14.
I move to approve the issuance of order number O022023, an order of the Aransas County Commissioners Court authorizing the exchange of real property pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code Section 263.006.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 15.
I move to approve accepting a general warranty deed from Rockport Phoenix LLC, the Texas Limited Liability Company, in exchange for the county granting a quitclaim deed to a different parcel for lot 55, block 8 of the Islands of Rockport, Unit 3, according to the plat thereof, containing 1.045 acres more or less.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any discussion?
Just one correction. I think you said 1.045. It's 1.405.
1.405.
Thank you. All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16.
I move to approve granting a quick claim deed to Rockport Phoenix LLC, a Texas Limited Liability Company, in exchange for a general warranty deed granted to Aransas County for a different parcel for a 40-foot wide strip of property located just east of State Highway 35 and approximately 6 miles south of Rockport, which parcel is landlocked and undevelopable and consists of approximately 0.974 acres.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Any discussion? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 17.
That's 16.
Yeah, you got 16.
There are
Oh,
two
did we do-
16s on here.
16 was last month.
Okay.
So I think that's a mistake.
Oh,
Storage tank, that was last.
yeah.
Correct. So now it's.
Item number 17.
Move to approve the purchase of an asphalt.
No.
Hold on.
It's number
was-
17, the next one.
Yeah, the next one.
That was last month's.
Yeah.
Error.
Oh, okay.
The next item is Resolution 4.
Right. I move to approve resolution R-04 2023. A resolution approving an interlocal cooperation agreement between Aransas County and the Region 8 Educational Service Center, enabling the county to participate in the interlocal purchasing system, purchasing cooperative, authorizing the county judge to execute all necessary documents, providing for repealer and severability, confirming compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, and establishing an effective date.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Any discussion?
I'd just like to point out that there is no cost to become a member of this organization, correct? Right, thank you.
And that's another thing like bid board or.
All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 18.
I move to approve the adoption of resolution R-05-2023, a resolution designating County Judge Ray A. Garza as the authorized official for Aransas County's existing fiscal year 2022 Homeland Security Operation Stone Garden Grant Program. Grant number 3171808, effective March 6th, 2023.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any discussion?
Are they going to read the resolution?
Oh,
I don't know.
do you want to read the resolution?
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 19.
I move to approve the adoption of resolution number R-06-2023, a resolution of the Aransas County Commissioners Court requesting the adoption of a concurrent resolution being presented to the 88th Texas Legislature related to the waiver of immunity for the Regional Pool Alliance, confirming compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and establishing an effective date.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? Would you like any discussion?
Yes, can we get an explanation of this?
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioners. We are asking today for the court to consider a resolution. Attached to that resolution 6 is a concurrent resolution. If you adopt the resolution 6 today, you will be telling everybody that you're in support of the concurrent resolution that would be presented to the state legislature. Because Regional Pool Alliance is a governmental entity that was created by an interlocal agreement between two other governmental entities, any potential litigation between us and RPA will be greatly slowed down by an argument that RPA will make and has made in other litigation that it has immunity from suit or immunity from liability. We are asking, with your approval, the legislature to issue this concurrent resolution to authorize the county to pursue claims against RPA related to our Hurricane Harvey insurance claims and proceeds and avoid the slowdown that would come with that argument being made. It would further outline various types of claims that we could bring and what types of recovery we would be eligible to receive. This is an unusual step. It's not something that I think you've been asked to do before today or any other time in recent memory. But because of the situation being a little bit complex, this is something that we've looked at, pardon me, with Lloyd Gosselink, our outside counsel, with our legislative division, just to see if maybe we can ensure recovery for the people of Aransas County.
Who are we concurrent with?
The concurrent resolution would be concurrent between the state house and the state senate. It would be the two houses agreeing with one another to give us the special permission.
And so, so what we're doing is we're asking the legislature to give us, or to give us the right to go ahead and go forward with our
We're both tongue twisted today.
approach to how we're handling the insurance issue.
Well, we can go forward with a lawsuit without this resolution. What this does, however, is speeds up the process because it avoids certain legal arguments that would put us potentially in appeals court and slow us down at the very beginning of a lawsuit, even for years, where we would never get to the point where we're getting discovery. And that's what happened in other litigation that RPA has been a part of.
I think the concurrent resolution is very well written, and I believe you probably did that, so thank you.
I worked with Lloyd Gosselink on that, but thank you.
All righty. Let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gottesall.
Aye, passes 5-0. And Jen, thanks for that. Thank you. Item number 20.
I move to approve the entering into an interlocal cooperation agreement between Aransas County, Texas and the town of Fulton, Texas for Aransas County to provide retail establishment regulations and enforcement services and authorize the county judge to execute the agreement.
Second.
Got a motion. We got a second.
I have a couple of questions.
I think Valerie, is she online? Okay.
I am.
Morning, Valerie. Two areas of possible concern. We're getting ready to hire a director for this department. I'm sorry to see you go, but I wish you all the best. You've done a great job here. And I'm sure we're going to get a really good replacement, but we'll still miss you. My concern is we're adding additional responsibilities while we're in a transition period on the leadership of this department. And is this something that can be carried out without a major snafu?
Yes, ma'am. I believe that the current staff can handle the added duties.
We've been doing this for years.
We haven't
Well,
been doing
we haven't been doing it for
We haven't been
full,
doing full.
right.
right? But we're going to take that on. And I think you put in here, we're currently reviewing 150 establishments within Rockport, and this will add about 25 to
Yes,
that
ma'am.
number. Okay. And then my other question, Under compensation, inspection and permit fees, I saw where the county would be collecting all of the permit fees. But for the first year, it doesn't appear we're charging Fulton anything for this service. The second year, we'll charge them $1,000, and the third year, we'll charge them $2,000 if the contract continues. Was there some reason we weren't going to charge them anything for the first year?
To help ease with this transition.
To ease Fulton in the transition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my first concern is, of course, for the county. So,
I think that I can maybe help clarify that,
all right,
Commissioner.
if you would, please.
Because Fulton currently, I believe, collects its own fees, then that would be part of its budget that it currently is relying upon. So by us taking over and starting to collect the fees to us directly, they already have to overcome that budget issue. So this gives them another year before they're paying out of their pocket deeper than just giving up the fees they've been collecting.
All right.
Valerie,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My understanding is from our conversation before was that the former chief of police in Fulton was doing the inspections.
Yes, sir.
And then now they're not going to, the police won't be doing it any longer. Is that correct?
Once this agreement is in place, it will be Aransas County.
Okay, thank you.
Call for the question.
Any other discussion? Like to go back to the drawing board and adjust these fees or?
Well,
Not necessarily.
no.
Okay.
I wanted the rationale, and Jen provided it, and I'm fine with that.
All right. All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gottesall.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 21.
I move to approve entering into an agreement for the use of reliable tire disposal trailer and authorizing the county judge to sign the agreement.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second? Any other?
Okay, I have a question. Valerie, you're still there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the background that you provided us, you said the cost would be submitted to the Solid Waste Advisory Council of the Council of Governance for reimbursement. Is that likely to be reimbursed then?
Yes, ma'am. They told us it would be reimbursable, that full amount.
Okay, that's good. And then I was just curious, and it might be just a drop point, but in Reliable's agreement, they say that the trailer will be delivered to 622 East Market. Is that where we collect tires?
That is where we hold this tire event. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we don't have it out by the transfer station or anything.
This is separate from what we do at the transfer station. This is a one-day event for the public.
Okay, good. Thanks very much.
And thank you for doing this because in my former job, I've built a lot of houses and boy, there's a lot of tires, a lot of everywhere in the backyards, but all right. Any other further discussion? Let's vote.
So Valerie, who all is going to be eligible or what are the requirements on people bringing into, you said it was a one-day tire off, you might say?
Yes, sir. It's a 9-to-1 event, and you have to show proof of residency. We take up to 6 tires per resident. Anything after the 6 tires, it's $5. And it's only passenger cars, trucks, or small tires, no tires with rims, no tractor tires or commercial tires.
All right, thank you.
Any further questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gottesall.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 22.
I move to approve the March 2023 indigent healthcare report.
I'll
I'll second
second that.
Madam
Would-
Treasurer.
For at midpoint, 6 months into our fiscal year, which begins in September, according with the state, and we've spent 2% of our budgeted amount, which is exactly where we were at last year. So our spending is about the same. We did have one indigent healthcare client, major surgery at 25,000.
Nice.
We do have yet to pay that we found out a very large prescription, specialized prescription in for an inmate, about $3,500 a month, I think. So we've got that knocked down through Diamond for about 1,700. So we haven't paid that one. It's not in here, but any questions on any of it?
And I think I may have asked this question before, maybe it's for you or the sheriff. When we have federal prisoners, and I know I looked at that contract, and they have prescriptions that are required, do we bill that to the federal government or do we eat that cost?
Prescriptions, most all medical is paid by the federal. Am I right, Jackie?
Probably they pay their medical, I think, depends on what it is. That right there.
Okay, thank you.
For general, the daily rate has like general medical, like Dr. Bingham coming in, or general medical supplies, but everything else is billed to the feds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 23.
Move to approve an updated job description for Assistant County Auditor to revise duties and changing the group step from group 13 to group 15, which will not result in any additional expenditures, but will result in the following changes. The current staff, employee number 1, 13.9 to 15.5, employee number 2, 13.10 to 15.6, and employee number 3, 13.12 to 15.8.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I'll just mention, I did check with the auditor's office to see if these groups were in line with other elected officials, deputies, or assistants, and they are in line. So that's a good thing.
Is there a particular question why you took employee 3 from one step up to one step down? And from 13 to 12?
No, went
It's a
13,
third-
12
They
to
were-
15.8.
Right, we're going up a
Oh,
group.
yes, I'm
So
sorry.
we brought the steps down so that it is comparable. The salaries are, there's no change in salary.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I missed.
I did want to just let commissioners know. Our office has to know everybody's process. So I did want to recognize the ladies at this time, or the employees in my office. Because we did not increase when there were a lot of other departments that were increasing, and not just to be equal with them, but I wanted to recognize the fact that we can go into every office and have to look at their processes, know what their processes are, know what fees are. So, we've got a lot of responsibility, and I wanted to make sure that we were in the correct group.
Jackie, I have just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the assistant county auditor, which is what we're looking at now, it's in the
Yes.
pay group 15, under essential duties. One of the ones that's in there is administer grants, maintain grant files, bills, reimbursements, prepare and submit all reports as required by grantors. Maybe that's in there because you do cross training, but isn't most of that responsibility going to go into the next job description to be
Yes,
considered?
it is. I do have, as you said, we do cross train, and I have one individual who is working on some small, well, actually 2 or 3 people in the office that work on smaller grants.
Okay.
So they are responsible for them, but the majority of them, yes, are with the other job description that I'm bringing forward.
Thank you.
There's no further discussion. Let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 24.
I move to approve a new job description for one of the current assistant county auditors to bring her job description more in line with actual job duties and to create a new position of assistant county auditor grant administrator in group 17, which will not result in additional expenditures, but will result in moving the employee from a 13 group 14 step to a 17 group step 6.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? Any discussion or comments? All right. Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Gunn.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 25.
I move to approve changing the facilities maintenance director group step from 19-13 to 23-5 to bring her position more in line with other department heads and similar amounts of responsibility and allow room for future advancement, which will not result in any additional expenditures or changes to the current salary for the position.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second, and I just want to say I brought this forward to the court. I'm asking more for my facility maintenance director from this position. I'm actually putting pathways under facilities. So it's given that position more responsibilities. She's going to have to manage more people. And it just made sense to bring this, like I said, this position in with other department heads. I thought it was kind of low.
I would also like to mention, in looking at this, I believe all of the changes were highlighted in yellow.
Yes.
And I appreciate Linda or Tracy or whoever made those to call it to our attention on what was being added. And I would encourage the judge to give this person a review at some point in time, because there certainly were a lot of duties added with no increase in pay.
Noted. Any other questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Goddison.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 26.
I move to approve a request for additional employee for public facilities with the title of landscape maintenance technician, which employee will be paid with funds currently in the budget and who will be responsible for duties and including the landscaping, mowing and maintenance of the pathways projects and updated job description.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Any discussion? The questions?
Jackie, will the funding of this job be done through venue money?
We propose
Pathways
that
will-
that would be what it would be, will not be paying the maintenance, the contractors that we have. So we would be using an in-house person to do that. Yes.
This person, though, will handle the maintenance of other properties, correct? It's not just going to be for the pathways projects.
We'll have one that'll do mostly the tax projects. And then one that does not projects, but if the grade or something needs to be removed, we already bill for that.
Okay.
Time sheets.
All right, thank you.
Because Renee is not on a mic, I want to make sure everybody hears that. We can put on a time card what department or what area the money needs to come from for certain work. So even if somebody works on things outside of pathways, we can delineate that on the time card to make sure they're only paid for venue tax for the stuff that's done out of pathways.
I have one other question. It says they're going to trim shrubs and palms. I'm just curious, do we have equipment for the trimming of palms?
Yes, we do.
Good morning.
Good morning. We do have the equipment, and if we need to trim down or pull out a palm, which we've been asked to do at Tule Creek once before, we did not have the truck to do so, but I know of several companies local that can do that for us that we've used for large tree trimming, but other than that, we do have equipment to take
Okay.
trees down.
Thank you.
Renee, are we are we looking at taking the right of way management? I'm not talking about mowing it, but whenever we get calls to pick up stuff on the right of way, is that still going to stay with environmental, or is it going to come to you?
We'll be cleaning up the park. And are you talking about the frontis at the park?
No, I'm talking about, we get a call on Johnson Street to pick up a couch or something.
Commissioner.
No, then it's not going to.
Right, that will still stay
Just
with environmental
pathways.
health.
Thank you.
All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 27.
I move to approve the January, February 2023 Auditor's Monthly Report.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any questions?
I have,
Or actually,
I'll hear what the
I
auditor.
was just
has
going
to
to let y'all know that I did not have the fee report in time to include it in the report, so I did put it up on your desk.
oh, this is it.
And Commissioner, did you?
In looking at the budget on a page, and I know things sometimes hit once or twice a year, so that can throw things askew. But we're about 17% of the year's budget through.
Yes,
And-
ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, okay. And there are four areas, district court, it's at 42%, fire protection, 96%, corrections, 72%, and alcohol breath testing, that's at 103%.
Yes, ma'am. Those are one-time charges. We pay Sanpac County for the district judge's portion as well as the adult probation. The fire department we give them 100% of their allocation from M&O. And the breathalyzer is the one-time fee.
Okay, that's good. And just for my education, account 610. Oh, no, sorry, 700. What exactly is that expense?
That is our fire department capital. We give them money for their capital expenditures and we pay that quarterly. And that's what that would be, was the first quarter of payment for them.
Thank you.
Any further questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 28.
Move to approve budget line item transfers.
I'll second it.
We have none at this time.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 29.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any questions?
I would like to bring your attention to several items. We have a bill from the outside attorneys that was $40,377 that you'll notice. Also GSM, we pay GSM the almost 1.2 million, $1,175,973. Purchased a Mack truck that closed out the portion, our 2011 flood CIP account. We did pay Gerke for an ARPA project as part of the drainage across
Bahia Bay.
Port Bay, Bahia Bay. I was trying to remember which one it was. It was
What was that payment?
$122,543.35. It would have been out of Fund 431. We also received and paid an invoice from Teal Construction out of 435 that was $793,618.64. And we did do a transfer of 800,000 from our tax notes to cover that invoice. And then we had Mott McDonald, we had several invoices from them. And then the community building over by the new courthouse, we received an invoice from DLF, the contractors, for $647,864.46. Those are the big major ones. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Could I ask Mr. Strothman, how is that community building coming along?
The community building pad is on grade. The plaza is on grade. The infrastructure storm drain is in place. The parking lot is what they call on subgrade, which is before you put the gravel down. And the infrastructure in that area is in place. They're starting to remove the sidewalk around the perimeter, the old sidewalk. And so, yes, they're moving along and it's staked out for foundation.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I just want to note that DLF invoice for 600,000, 600 some odd thousand. What is that for? Are we getting ahead of ourselves on that, on payment there?
I think it's a $4 million project, so we're not quite ahead of ourselves
Okay.
yet, but it's close.
Okay, thanks. All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Gotcha.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, or department heads. No action will be taken. Anybody? All right, well, I got an announcement at this. Oh, I'm sorry, Sheriff. Oh, I'm sorry, Sheriff.
You got his newest deputy.
Nice.
I have two things. First off, I wanted to point out today that Public Safety Center and the jail, that area of town, around that area is without water again today. Be without it most of the day. We've got a project that's out for request to come back in, but just to point out the significance of it, this is the first time this year that we've been without water. Now the Public Safety Center, we can bring water in, people can come and go, but in the jail, look somewhat restricted. Hopefully, as we move forward, we get that water storage tank in place. It won't be an impact there in the future. And I wanted to introduce Declan. We're here, Declan, so I can see you. He's here from Sacred Heart School. He's gonna be with me today, serving as our junior sheriff for Francis County.
My, we're getting them younger all the time.
Want to introduce him and start his day off with us.
Morning, deputy.
But on that tank, yeah, if we can just, I don't know if we're gonna, as they continue that project down Concho, we're just more and more interruptions with the water as they lay in those tiles and, but this was a scheduled deal and plan.
We're glad to have your honorary sheriff here.
Gonna have to teach you some of his moves, I think. Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
If you want.
I had one thing also.
Just one moment. We're gonna take a picture with the.
What'd you say?
I believe, yes, I believe Valerie has something.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that the tire event is on April 15th, Saturday, April 15th.
Thank you, Valerie. And then at this time, I want to introduce Valerie's replacement. So we had some last week, I had conducted interviews. And after the interviews, I had Jen Osteen in there helping me out. And the reason I didn't have HR director in there is because her husband works for that department. So I left Linda out. But I want to introduce Elle Morales. I actually stole her from Road and Bridge. So sorry about that, David. But Elle's going to be our new, Elle's going to be our new director of environmental health. Cool.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah. And you don't have to give a speech or anything, but yeah.
Well, you
Unless you want to. Okay, all right.
You have big shoes to fill, but I know you've done a great job at the Ag Life office and you've done a wonderful job at Road and Bridge. So looking forward to working with you. And Valerie, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes,
All
I'd
right.
like to say also, when May Judge, I'd want to thank Valerie for the short time I've had to work with her, opportunity to work with her. Thank you for her information, education that she's provided me.
Yes, thank you, Valerie,
gonna
for
wish
all
her
your hard
well,
work. Yeah.
As you know, long awaited, our kennel floor should be starting today for our refurbishment. I want to thank the community. We put out a plea for fosters and we had an overwhelming response. So we have a lot of dogs moved to homes, and Humane Society, who stepped in and took 2 of our medical dogs that I didn't have a place for. They're going to house them during the 2-week process. So I just wanted to thank our community for helping so we can make this happen. It's been a long road to get this far. So this is the first step. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And you think that the new cages or gates will be?
The new gates have been
installed?
ordered. They are 5 months out.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
this is something maybe
This
to
is the
prepare for that?
floor. Starting first
Okay.
is the floor repair in the kennels. And those will all be done hopefully within 2 weeks. The order has been placed, but it's 5 months out.
Okay, thank you, Lori.
That's just material.
Thank you. All right, item number 30.
I move to consider convening into a closed session for the following purposes. A, to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about insurance matters related to Aransas County's projects and insurance claims from Hurricane Harvey, including pending litigation styled Aransas County, Texas versus Endurance American Specialty Insurance Company et al., Aransas County District Court, cause number 23-0021, pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes closed sessions for a governmental body to consult with its attorneys regarding advice on legal matters pertaining to pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act. And B, to consult with legal counsel and receive legal advice about matters covered by legal counsel's duty of confidentiality, including but not limited to issues relating to agreements under negotiation, issues relating to potential litigation, legal issues related to grant funding, and the sale and purchase of real property, pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes closed sessions for a governmental body to consult with its attorneys regarding advice on legal matters pertaining to pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All right. Let's vote.
Commissioners, there's a second part there on item B. And it says on top of that, and to deliberate matters related to the lease or value of real property pursuant to section 551.072 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes closed sessions for a governmental body to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the government in negotiations with a third person.
Thank you, Jen.
Do you have a second?
I'll say that.
All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
and Judge Batsa.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll take a 5-minute recess and convene to closed session. Thank you.
That was the longest.
We're rolling. All right. Item number 31. Do we have to vote to reconvene? Can I?
I move to reconvene in the open session.
I'll second.
Yeah,
Got a motion, got a second?
At 10:44.
yeah, 10:44. Second, my second, right?
Ejected.
All right, we're ready.
Yep, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, thank you. 5-0. All right, item number 32.
Move to discuss and take action on matters discussed in closed session.
We're not asking that
Oh.
any item result in action today from the closed session, either A or B.
All right, so
I move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
So we need to vote on no action though?
No.
You know,
we're taking no action on item 32 or 33. All right, we got a motion to convey or to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second it.
All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Cool, thank you.